Welcome to Tuesday's Tips from So Very Easy. My name is Laura, and today let's take a close look at these tiny rotary cutters. There are various sizes of blades. You have a very large one at 60, the one that is most commonly used, which is a 45, then you have a nice small one at 28, but you also can get an 18, and it is very small. But there are definitely advantages to having a small blade. And this one is called Comfort Cut, and it is reversible. You can use it right-handed and you can use it left-handed. When you think smaller blade, you would think that your cutting surface, this area here, would be smaller because it's a smaller blade. When you open the blade, the safety so that you can cut it, you can see that that cutting area is just as deep as many of the other blades. So you're going to be able to cut one piece of fabric or many, just as you can with your 45, which makes this a great tool to use. You have your depth, but having it a smaller circle here is going to get you around some nice tight corners. Triangles are very easy to do. You can start into your ruler, just go back ever so slightly, and then go forward. And I can continue to do that all the way around. And I've been able to just take that and turn it so that I can use the other side. Now you're going to have to be careful with your hand, but I'll move my hand out of the way and I can cut right under the underside. Now it's not something I'm going to want to do all the time, but every once in a while we have that little space that needs to be cut. And I have my perfect cuts. Even with little hexagons, I found it worked really well. I cut one side, 2, 3. Then I'm going to be able to take that and turn it so that that blade is the flat end along the ruler. Move my hand out of the way, do another 3 sides. So I've been able to do all of the cutting without having to turn the fabric or turn the mat. Cutting behind you is something you need to be careful of. But sometimes there is a spot where it is a little awkward to get in some of the larger cutters. So the smaller blades work really great for that. And because it's reversible, I'm going to be able to turn that blade in whatever direction I'm going to want. And it's nice and light, so I don't have to put a lot of pressure. And because the blade sticks out enough, you're going to be able to use it when you use these mats that have the slices in them. It's going to be very easy to take that little blade and put it in one of the holes going right to the other side. And it cuts it very easily. And the smaller blades work great for rulers that have curves in them. This one has a little slot in it that you are going to be able to fit that blade right through to cut the curve. But the blade is still big enough to do that. I'm going to be able to fit that blade easily, and it's going to be very easy to go around that curve. Because it has a small curve to it and yet a big bite, this is very easy to use for the curved type rulers. The blade is very, very easy to change on this. You have one end that opens that safety so that you can cut. On the other side, it's holding a pin, and when you pull that back, that blade just pops right off. You're going to be able to lift that blade out and put a new blade on. Slide it right down and lock it. So it's very easy to change that blade. So it might be tiny, but it's definitely mighty. Thank you for joining me today on Tuesday's Tips. Feel free to subscribe, and as always, come on back. Let's see what we're sewing next time in the sewing room. Bye for now.